Who is Leonardo Balerdi? And why is Igor Tudor and Juventus desperate to bring him to Turin? The answer: leadership, passion, tactical discipline. Born in Argentina but holding a dual nationality with Italy, Balerdi's career path is as fearless as his playstyle, from Boca Juniors to Borussia Dortmund, and now a key figure at Marseille. But under Roberto De Zerbi, everything changed. The first move De Zerbi made as coach, promoting Balerdi to club captain. Yes, club captain. He didn't just see a defender, he saw a leader, a mainstay. Now Balerdi commands the back line with growing authority, reading danger, snapping into tackles, and leading with a steady presence. No wonder Igor Tudor wants his former soldier back at his side. Juventus see in Balerdi the backbone of their future defence. And this season, he's quietly impressed with consistent performances and maturity. So now we know who Leonardo Balerdi is. If you want to know who he is, the footballer, his strengths, his weaknesses, what he can bring to Juventus, just give me 2-3 minutes and then we will do a deep dive, a deep football analysis. By the end of this video, you will be a Leonardo Balerdi fanboy. You will be a guru. Any question asked about him, you got the answer. Okay, now if you're new, make sure to like, subscribe, always engage in the comments. I love to hear you guys' opinions. Now, Leonardo Balerdi is the player that Igor Tudor has handpicked and said, I want him at Juventus. Why? He managed him at Marseille. He got a lot out of him. Balerdi done well under Tudor at Marseille, and Tudor done well at Marseille. And now he wants to bring him to Juventus. Why? He wants a bit more steel. He wants a bit more fight. He wants a bit more leadership. He wants a centre-half that's good on the ball, but also that's good in the air, that wins his duels. Now, seeing as we're speaking of this, if I was to compare him to Gatti and Kalulu, this is Gatti and Kalulu. You could see Kalulu, he's a good ball carrier, but what are his weaknesses? Ball progression, aerially. How many times has Kalulu been beaten at the back post this season? The same thing can be said about Gatti. How many times has Gatti been beaten in the air? But both of them, their weaknesses are in the air and ball progression. Now, if I was to add Leonardo Balerdi into the mix, you could see he's an overall improvement on both. He's good in the air. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's good defensively. And even if I was just to look at him, his overall percentage, like amongst Europe's top 5 leagues, all the centre halves, you can clearly see, like the graph speaks for itself. He's on the right side of history. Let's just put it like that. He wins his duels in the air. He wins his duels on the ground. He's very good on the ball. I've gone back and watched about 3-4 games of his in the past week, ever since the rumours started to come about that Juventus were linked with him. The one thing I like about him the most, besides the numbers and the stats, we can get into that later, based off my own eye test, the thing I liked about him the most, he comes from a very physical league. Like, in my opinion, Liga 1 is slowly becoming the most intense, the most physical league in the world. Every single player there is an athlete, physically gifted. And as a centre-half, you can't bully him. You can't bully him. He's coming up against fast wingers, he's holding his own. He's coming up against strong strikers, he's holding his own. You can't bully him physically. You can't bully him technically. Like, he looks like the complete package, okay? And I'll be honest with you guys, from the games that I've seen, I've been impressed. But you know what? You guys are here for the more deeper analysis on who he is. So this is a video that I've done for you guys. Make sure to enjoy it. Now let's talk some football. Let's dive deeper into why Leonardo Balerdi is turning heads across Europe, and why both Roberto De Zerbi and Igor Tudor are trying to build around him. Firstly, the numbers don't lie. Balerdi currently boasts one of the highest passing accuracies of any centre-back in Europe. For a coach like De Zerbi, whose football philosophy is all about ball retention and intelligent build-up, that kind of precision is absolutely essential. Whether it's the short, sharp exchanges or the diagonals into the flanks, Balerdi has shown he can play out from the back and step into midfield when necessary. That ability to break the first line of pressure helps midfielders control the tempo, and it's exactly the kind of profile Igor Tudor demands from his defenders. Now let's focus on his performances against the top sides in Liga 1, the real test of quality. I analysed his performances against the 4 strongest sides in Liga 1 outside of Marseille, and in every single one of those, Balerdi maintained a minimum 90% passing accuracy. Not just safe sideways passes, but a healthy mix of short, long, and more importantly, progressive forward passes. It's that consistent technical execution under pressure against high quality pressing sides. That's what separates solid defenders from truly intelligent ones. Now take a look at this. His heat map from the Liga 1 campaign. What stands out? Balerdi's average position isn't that deep. It's almost like a midfielder. He steps up on a regular basis, compressing the pitch, allowing Marseille to hold a high defensive line and sustain pressure. It's risk-taking with structure, and Balerdi makes it work. Now this is where the tactical picture becomes clear. Igor Tudor has already used Balerdi as the central centre-back in his back 3, a role that demands vision, defensive control, and leadership, and De Zerbi is using him in exactly the same way at Marseille. That central role in the 3-4-2-1 isn't just a defensive position, it's a conductor's podium. You need someone who can read the game, distribute with purpose, and organise the back line. Balerdi is becoming that player. Now this is where it gets fun. Balerdi slotting in Igor Tudor's 3-4-2-1 in that central position would allow the physical profiles of Kalulu and Bremer to step into midfield, creating a central overload which helps Juventus in build-up. But in return, we could also see a tactic deployed by Gasperini at Atalanta, where the central centre-half is the one who steps up, creating a little diamond amongst the centre-halves and Di Gregorio, but always creating a forward progressive pass. It's that tactical fluidity which keeps the opposition guessing. He's not just defending space, he's commanding it, and that's exactly why Juventus, under Igor Tudor, see him as the anchor for a new backline. Leonardo Balerdi is no longer just a promising defender. He's matured into a high-level, ball-playing centre-back, a tactical asset in modern football. If Juventus get their man, expect him to walk straight into the middle of the back three, not just as a defender, but as the organiser, the enabler, and the first spark of every attack. I'm back. So now, you are the Leonardo Balerdi guru. You know everything about him, his strengths, his weaknesses. You now also know why, 1, Marseille are potentially asking for 40 to 50 million pounds. 2, why Roberto De Zerbi is desperate to keep his club captain. And 3, why Igor Tudor is desperately trying to sign him to Juventus and what he can bring to Juventus. As a centre-half, he's coming across like the complete package in the modern game. He's a centre-half that's technically very good. He's a centre-half that's physically very strong and he can hold his own. And the icing on the cake, ladies and gentlemen, he's a centre-half. There's leadership, there's fight, there's mentality. He's managed one of the biggest clubs in France. Marseille is a club that comes with demands, standards, expectations. And he's handled it. And he's shown growth. He started from the ground all the way up. And he is a player that can benefit this Juventus team in a variety of different ways. Now, whether or not Juventus secure him, 40-50 million is a lot of money. But I feel like Juventus definitely got him at the top of their priority list. And maybe, just maybe, if they were to sell 1 or 2 or 3 players, they would definitely look at him and say, him in the centre of the 3-4-2-1 with Bremer to the left, Kalulu maybe to the right, Di Gregorio in behind, Locatelli, Thuram. It's a solid foundation. Because when it comes to building a team, you build the team from the ground up. It's like you build a house. You don't start with the roof. You start with the foundation. You start from the ground and you work your way to the top. He's of the right age. He's well experienced. Yes, it comes from a foreign league, but that foreign league experience can always be a bonus. And I definitely look at him and say he would be, I don't want to say game-changing signing, but he would definitely be a signing that elevates and improves Juventus' backline and just brings a different dimension to the way they defend, to the way they play out at the back. And I'll be honest with you guys, the fact that he's a captain, the fact that he's led this team to Champions League football, the fact that he can handle the big stake pressure moments, it's something this young Juventus team desperately needs. But I will catch you guys on another one.